Welcome you all again in my channel, and I, Dr. Pankaj Kumar Goswami, again welcome you. And coming up with a very special topic, which is the citation and research indexing. Although this topic is completely dedicated for the research scholars and as well as the research academicians, those are working in the field of publishing of papers and the different kind of articles or publishing patents. That this is basically dedicated for them. But nowadays, because in India, specifically not in India but worldwide, entrepreneurship development is there, and in that situation the innovation, creativity, taking up the responsibility to do new things are even given to the undergraduate and the postgraduate scholars too. So hope so this article will give a great benefit to you. So citation and research indexing. So let's come on basically on these two topics, citation and research indexing. So citation is basically a meaning. It consists of a thing. Like suppose take an example. If like this is basically a world, every day number of the searches, number of the different kind of innovations are happening around, and under these conditions every time you need to do a new one. But before doing it new, it has already been done by someone. So while you are presenting your work and you're including someone's work with giving a complete reference and the name of that person, that this is a task has been done by a particular person during this period of time, and over that particular platform is basically a citation. So it's a very simple word. So giving a kind of a gratitude and respect to the person who have already done on a common platform something, and you're using their work in your own work, is basically called as a citation. And basically this citation has a great value. Let's understand when, why it is important. So we should go on with this. So why are citation important? This is a very great question. So if we go here and let's see, check out. So first of all, avoid plagiarism. That's important policy. So if you go for any norms for any kind of a degree, this plagiarism has a certain kind of a policy. So if you are using someone's work and claiming that it's your work, so it might come with the plagiarism. So you are just giving a very authentic information that this work has been done by this and I'm using for this purpose, is basically called as a citation. Second, the respect the intellectual property right. Yeah, it is a legal act. So if somebody is claiming that this is my work and my idea and you are using that idea, so it means you are respecting its own property, that exactly their property. And the third one is provided evidence for the work of others and support a claim in your work. Yeah, that is also very much important. This gives a kind of a validation to your work. It means you are saying that I am doing this one, and what is the authenticity of your work. So the authenticity only comes with the previous work the people have done, and that is approved, that is validated. So using the validated work and giving information to the people that this is the validated work have been done in this year by these peoples, and now I'm doing this much extra in that or including something. This is kind of a validation given to your work with the help of citation of others. To help the readers to trace and track down the sources of information, exactly, that's important, because the two things are there. Whether you are writing your paper, anything related with your research for your own purpose, or you're doing it for the other people's. So if you're doing it for the other people's, then the people always need to have the basic and original information. So sometimes it happens that in a paper you have a limited words, so it could be possible for a certain kind of a things people might be finding the original sources. So if you are giving a citation, it means you're giving an information this content can easily be retrieved from that particular part. So this is the another part. So for the fourth part, the plagiarism, it is means ethical, respecting the other's property, and definitely the third one, claiming and giving a validation to your work, and the fourth one is helping the readers to know the actual source of origin. So this is a very well common and basic citation element. So if you are a researcher, you already done something, so you always you have certain aspects in which you need to give the informations. So what are these aspects? These are the aspects: author, what is the title, where is the source, conference, journal, some patent, some internet sources are there, who are the editors giving the information, if some edited work is there, volume and edition, date or year of publication, page number, city and country, it has the work has been done over there, that is also important sometimes, publisher, university, URL, and the DOI. DOI is basically nowadays very much important. This is digital object identifier. It means now everything is digital, so under this digital word it is important you must have a certain record. So DOI is taking care of this one. When to cite a source, that's important. See, this is a very important question, and like it happens like generally people cite only for the purpose that this is a minimum requirement. If you're going to publish a paper, it happens that there is a section in which you have to give a reference, and in between you have to set cite 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a basic common requirement you feel, but actually it is not. Don't afraid, I'm just saying, don't afraid while citing someone's. It is giving a value and addition. The paper are just only written that somebody else must use it. So while you're using it up, do not hesitate on that. You can use it very wonderfully, and with the help of a use of such kind of a good material, you can create a new innovative things in your paper. So whenever you feel and whatever you feel that has to be cited in your literature, that should be there. So what you need to cite, if you're using a certain kind of a quotation completely, it means you're using a certain kind of a punchline. Just taken an example, different kind of examples are there. So if suppose like if someone has said something like if you're using a word that a certain kind of a person, that Albert Einstein has said something, so you're using that particular quote, you can use it like that. If anyone else is there, have just given a certain quote, you want to use that, use it and cite it. This particular quotation is given by that particular person. Paraphrases, statement, ideas, not only actually the word, but ideas can be cited also. So this is an idea and you are just giving an idea. Data or data sets, reprint a long text, passes or copyright test. It might be possible that it happens. Generally, if you are making a certain kind of a video, an example, and using someone's song, so it also comes out with copyright, because song is taken by, and you're publishing that particular song by your name, so it is also comes with copyright. So anything you are picking up, you need to give a proper citation and giving a complete kind of a gratitude to the people, so that it won't create any legal issues with you. Reprinting, sometimes we are reprinting, sometime we are changing the language, we are translating into the other language. That all needs to cite the source where we are doing it up. Citation styles are very much important. So if we go for, so many styles are there, but a few are the common one. IEEE style citation, Chicago style citation is there, which is basically Chicago and Turobian style citation. MLA style, Modern Language Association. APA style citation. It means how to cite the things. So if you wanted to go more, because I'm just giving information of citation and reference indexing here, so if you want to go more, so I'm also citing one information here. So this particular information is available on www.research.com. so you can go over there, you can easily find out that informations are available there. So I'm citing this information here. So because generally we belong to engineering and technology, so IEEE style citation is there, in which we generally give the author's name, we give the title of work, we give the general information and all the details, time, when it was being published, the year, and everything is there. So IEEE in text citation are the most important. The citation is basically consisting two parts. The first part, you have a certain text, you are typing something and you are writing something there. Under that situation, you need to give a numbers. You see, generally you give such kind of a numbers, like these kind of a numbers you give in your text. So this is not only like just writing something and giving at the end of a text and giving a number to it at the cited. It's not. So citation in text has a certain kind of an idea how to do it. So if you see here, the citation have a compound computation be extensive. Like just take an example. If you are citing an idea, have found computation to be extensive. So this is the last process. It means use a square bracket and mention the number from one reference. I have just taken this one. You are citing an author, you need to give this. You need to give this. Leyland, it means he is a author. Suggested that. So initially you have to cite that. Citing an example, for a good example, C3. If you want to show that something is there in the reference, you need to write like this. Again, no need to write C reference 3. No, you don't use the word reference. C only 3. That is sufficient. Narrative, if you have a several time of, then several simulations, 4, 5, 6, 7. So continuously, if you are using 4 or 5 continuous references from which you are picking up the data, you can give like that. So at the end of a sentence, have found the problem in this, or. So using only square bracket is sufficient. It means you are giving a reference of that particular information. IEEE reference citation, so that is very well known, and if suppose the people are writing, they must know that how to do that, and so many styles of writing there, but generally IEEE is too much common. So general article, single author book has a certain process if we see here. So what kind of a process one has to use? Title of a work, single author book is there, edited book is there, selection in edited book, manual is there, thesis is there, conference proceeding. So important part is here that all the way of writing a reference is not a common. It is definitely different and very different in the case of a journal article and in the case of a single author book. Edited book, selection in the edited book, manuals, thesis and dissertation, conference proceedings, all are different. And while you are just having an internet document and the software, under this situation you have to check professional intersite. It has a different kind of a way how to write that. You can see it here. If you have a personal website, you can easily go for that. Personal website is a different way. General website, again it is different. Software, again it is different. So now coming up, so once we are having a citation, then we must go and understand what kind of a citation and basically why it is so important and why we are talking it about. So citation is giving basically two kind of a benefit. One benefit to the author and the second benefit to the person for which you are just giving a reference. That is also important. So suppose that I have a certain article and you are using, any one of you are using this article, so you are getting a benefit, 4 benefits: avoiding plagiarism, giving a respect to my property right. Third, you are just giving a validation your work and giving author information where the original source is there. But along with that, the simultaneously I am as an owner of that particular article is getting a benefit, and you as a researcher will get. So not only writing a paper, but you need to take care if you are writing a paper and someone else is writing your citation, giving information of your paper is giving a benefit to you. It is a bi-direction, very important. See, so the two person, one is the person who is using, one is the person who written, both are getting the benefit through this citation process. And nowadays it has very much important. So not only writing the paper and putting into the box, that is sufficient. It's not like that. How many people are using your work, it is also very much important. This is the basic practice of the citation. And if you see here in this example, one example has been taken up. The citation is total 88, 84 and H index is there. So now these 3 part is there that will be reflected to your account. So your work, your research have a credibility if the others are using it. If no one is using it, definitely it has no credibility. So citation is giving bi-directional benefit. Please take care of this. If suppose you are having your paper, you are writing a paper, you are citing, so where you can just display your work. So you need to display your work over some places where the Google Scholar, Scopus, ORCID is there and Publons are there. So basically we have 4 major points where we can go for. And you see here, the every paper, now the things are completely digital, so the every paper you are creating, that is going directly to the Google Scholar generally, because it is indexing sources. So the information, if you see here, that is available on the Google Scholar. This information is available on Google Scholar. So anyone who is citing your paper and that paper where it is being written, it is in a journal which is indexed in Google, this automatically will be reflected to your account that someone has written a paper, cited you, and that paper is indexed in Google. So it will immediately give a benefit to you. And the people those belongs to academia, they know that if you are giving a paper and how much your paper is giving a value to the system and society. So Google is one point, Scopus, ORCID and Publon. Scopus, everyone knows that nowadays the minimum indexing paper. So see what happens. The second part is important part because the indexing part is there. So let's take a little idea about that. Indexing. If you have a certain paper and you are publishing that paper into a journal, so how one can know that particular journal has a certain kind of authenticity? So few indexing bodies are there. They says if your journal has a certain value, credibility, and they are following and fulfilling our pattern, a certain kind of a protocols, then this journal will be indexed in our database. So Scopus is one of the database that shows if the journal is in a part of a Scopus, then definitely it is giving an idea that journal has a certain kind of a validation and a quality. That's the one point. Similarly, the Publon, this is a Web of Science. The Web of Science is also doing this, and it is taking care of the SCI, SCIE and ESCI journals. So Web of Science is taking care. So Scopus and Publon both are taking care of some standard journal. So see, whenever you are writing a paper and you see where it is being indexed, if it is indexed in Scopus, it is indexed in Web of Science, then definitely it's code 1. And again the same thing is there. If it is indexed there, you are writing paper and your paper has some citation, so automatically the owner of those papers will get a reflection there, Scopus and the Publon account. and that Publon and Scopus account will definitely show your growth, that how much paper you have written and how many times your paper is being cited by the others. So these are the two important points: writing a paper and your paper is being cited by the other ones. So everyone must have account on this one: Google, Scopus, Orchid, and as well as the Publon. So this gives a reference. A few softwares are also available for this purpose if you are using a certain kind of a direct tool for this. So EndNote, Mendeley, Jotaro is there. So with the help of this you can directly use the references. A reference can easily be used with the help of this one, and it's make you so much easy. So in this description link I'll definitely give a video link of this Mendeley, how to use this Mendeley for the reference and citation purpose. Indexing is a journal. You can understand that indexing, it means your journal has a certain value or not. So it totally depend upon which database it belongs to. Like quality, it is simply a quality. Like just take an example, if you have a certain kind of a brand, any brand is there, LG is a brand. So if you have a certain fridge or TV, then it has a certain kind of a value that it belongs to LG. If I'm just talking about the AC, so if it belongs to O General, so a general is there, it means it has a certain kind of a value. So that is what the indexing is, a brand of a journal. So if your journal in which you are publishing your paper is indexed in Scopus, it has a brand. That's what important. Major citation indexing. So if you see here, if I'm talking about the Web of Science is taking care for the SCI, SCIE, ESCI. The three part are there. Scopus is also taking care. Indian Citation Index is also taking care. It totally depends upon the organization, it depends upon your degree, what is basically required over there. So just making up the standard of the different kind of a publication, they just make their own level. So you just take care, it must be at least indexed in Web of Science or Scopus, or ICI is to be taken care by some of the university as well. So here we have few SCI, SCI, ESCI, Scopus. These are the Medline is PubMed is basically for the medical fields and science, like that. So here most important, like I talked about the ORCID, I talk about basically the Publon, I talked about basically the Google Scholar, those few things are there. So first of all, the peoples are looking how many papers you have published, and when you are publishing your paper, how many times your paper being cited. Two things: citation and your publications. The third important thing which comes to you, which is the H index. So when you go for and see that your paper is there and it is being cited a number of times, just take an example. Just take an example like 1, 2, 3, 4. This particular person has 12 papers, and among them, first paper is cited by 87, then 70, 46, 32, 19, 15, 10, and 9. So H index is basically n number of papers cited n number of times. Then it becomes an H index. It means if you see here, 8 papers cited by 9 times. 9 papers are cited by 8 times. So if this 9 paper will be cited by 9 times, then H index becomes 9, minimum 9. So one has to take care, if you want to make your H index 10, so what has to do? This 1, 2, 3 all must be cited minimum 10 times. So if 10 is there, so more than 10 should be at the upper side. So 10 to match to 10. If you want to make it 11, so 11 number of papers should be cited around 11 times, and all of our must be at least 11 times or more than 11 times. That is what I. So it is basically a kind of a calculation. It means it is giving a cumulative increment to your all the papers for the citation purpose, and it is showing that you have a certain kind of a value of your paper. Similarly, I-10 index is also there. How many papers are being cited 10 times? This comes to the I-10 index. So if you see here, 6 papers are cited minimum number of 10 times, and definitely 6 is the I-10 index. The 7th paper is 9, it is only left by 1. So once it will reach to 10, then it will have a I-10 index 7. So general impact factor is also very much important. The people keep on talking and keep on thinking about that. What is the general impact factor? So we have a certain kind of a formula to calculate the general impact factor, but we do not bother about it. Journal generally gives its own information. So total number of time of its article were cited during 2 previous years, the total number of the citable articles. So number of the citation, it means the journal is also creating its impact factor based on a citation. So citation is again very much important. So writing up the paper, publishing it is not a complete task. So this is a cumulative process. You have to write the paper, you give the respect to the peoples for those information you are receiving up, and those people are getting a benefit of this. Similarly, while you are writing a paper, you need to take care about that my paper should have a certain kind of a quality. The other must cite it as well as I am citing the others papers. So what should be added to your portfolio? So number of research publication, patents if you have, your total citation in numbers, Google Scholars, Scopus and Web of Science different. So generally, because some of them only consider Web of Science, some of them consider Scopus, and ORCID is basically a kind of a portfolio. It's a researcher's portfolio. It gives you all the details of commonplace. Your H index is very much important, your ID index is very much important, impact factor of your publication is important. So these are the few things. So while you are just having your CV and the resume, you should have these all table included in that, so that give you a proper impact related with your research. So hope so you like this video, and this video is much informative for you. Moreover, more things are there available on my YouTube channel. You can find out about that. Learning related things are there. So, and I keep on just putting this Monday related videos also available there. I am also available on the LinkedIn. I have my ORCID account. You can easily find out. I have a Scopus ID and as well as a Publog too. So there you can easily find out. My YouTube channel is also available. Why you can get this, and which is available here. So ultimately the target is here. So let's concluding this one. This is basically an objective given to the researchers community, and researchers community is totally not only for the doing research. This is actually started from the UG and a part of a UG, and then PG, post graduation, you are doing research, and now if you are not a research, if you are just only faculty member and post PhD doing PDF, whatever the thing you are doing, if you are having a little interest in the research, you want to write the articles, you are thinking something and you want to show this to the people, to the world, then you just take care about this important part. That take care of others' works, and while you are just taking care of other works, your work should be placed somewhere which is a good indexed. So that's important. If you are just you just focus on the right point, surely I believe that your research portfolio will be so good. So with these words, thank you very much. Hope so. If you have any sort of a query and confusion like that, for you need to have any sort of information, you just drop in a message to me on this. Thank you.